everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning, those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. If you guys could like the video and subscribe, it would greatly help me. We are working towards getting, by the way, my name is Astraea Love and I'm the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today, but we're working towards getting to 1,000 subscribers. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers on this platform, I can start taking $20 super chats and you guys can start sending your questions in. So as of now, I do have my Cash App and PayPal in the description box below, but yeah, it's just gonna be easier when I can accept super chats on this platform and when it can be monetized. Okay, so we are calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters. We're asking that our spiritual team of highest light and resonance, including our spirit guides and ancestors, come be with us now. We're asking that they put a protective shield around us, keeping us safe from all negative influence or impact, and from anyone or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, the highest knowledge, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and to my collective, and I pray for my subscribers. So I just want to say thank you, God, for everything that you do. Thank you for working with us, getting us to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. All glory, honor, worship, and praise goes to your higher self, my higher self, for everything that's done on this platform, which everybody's higher self is God. Amen. Okay, so the contract. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. Also, this contract includes no bullying me, no bullying anybody in the comments or anybody in the chat. I will remove you from the channel. And Matthew 7:1-5, judge not that you be not judged. Okay. And Romans 2:1-3, you therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things. So again, it's not anybody's job to religiously condemn anybody else, and anybody wanting to do that, they're not connected to God. The fuck is wrong with them? So anyways, you guys, check this book out. These books are in the description box below. The first one is called The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook, and this book has saved my life so many times. Okay, it's got it's got so many more than just 3 techniques, but it would take me forever to go through everything in this book. But I will tell you about the 3 techniques that I use on a day-to-day basis. And 2 of the techniques you'll see me actually use in action. The first technique is the God technique, which raises you out of your ego so that you're looking out through the eyes of God, aka your higher self, so that you can see things from a bigger picture. And it's like rising above whatever issue is going on. When you bring it into the energy of God, whatever the problem is disappears, because it's an illusion anyways. The second technique is the joy versus anger technique, which gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions and get an immediate response back, so that you're not having to wait for like a sign from the universe, saying a prayer, waiting for a signal. No, like you have open communication with your higher self, God, so you can be asked. And the joy versus anger technique works upon clairsentience, which is what everybody has. That's like we all have a sixth sense, if you want to call it that, as called clairsentience, which is clear feeling. That's a guttural response. So the joy versus anger works with that response, which is what everybody has. And then the mind technique, which gives you the ability to question your thoughts and your beliefs so that you can release the baggage that you're carrying around that keeps, and the storylines as well, keeps pulling in the situations that are not fun, I would just say. So check this book out, you guys. It's life-changing. It's changed my life, and I use the techniques in it every day, and I refer back to this all the time to remind myself, of who I am spiritually. Well, who everybody is. Their higher self is God. And that doesn't mean that this book is not like Okay. Whereas some people that are like left-hand path are totally missing the point. They want to be God in everybody else's life except their fucking own. And I have a serious problem with that. This is teaching you about your higher self God, which is love, joy, compassion, mercy, peace, all of that, okay? And that's what God is, the positive things. And so, yeah, you can be God in your own life. You already are, in a sense, whether you know it or not. You're creating your own reality with your thoughts and your beliefs. That is the gift of free will that God gave us. And so that's, that's what it's about, basically learning how to focus on positive things, how to reframe what you're thinking about, what you're believing, so you're drawing in positive experiences. Before that book, I felt afraid every second of every fucking day. Like, seriously. I was seeing things, experiencing things, and like, yes, they were actually the fuck there. Okay. Because other people would experience them as well. They were absolutely there. Like, I was psychic growing up my whole life. I spent the majority of my time as a child playing until like my teenage years, playing outside with the fairies. And they, you know, I don't think my parents fully understood what was going on because I would be out there talking to the fairies, but they definitely knew that I was just different. And that kind of goes with adopting a child. You don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? And so it wasn't until later on in life that I could go to, not both sides of my family because I couldn't find that, but I could at least go to one side and be like, what the hell is this? And they're like, oh, it's aliens. Duh. You didn't. Oh, of course you didn't know. You didn't know that our family is one of those families that were extraterrestrials, that we all get abducted. We all get experimented on. Like, seriously. And so I didn't know that. And so growing up, I was just totally scared all of the time, having these supernatural spiritual experiences and not knowing like anything other than the lens of Catholicism, which anything that is not Jesus is a demon. Like, that's literally how demonized everything is in religion. And that's just not the actual truth. I mean, I did suspect that the things that were coming to me saying that they were angels, and they like, y'all, when you've seen something that's otherworldly and it's dark, okay, the sacred geometry of these things do not fit anything that anybody has ever created or anything that I have ever seen. Okay, even the people that try to create scary shit, they could never even like amount to the fallen watchers and the things that I was seeing. Like the scariness of that, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like like from our human perspective, we're working with like shapes and sacred geometry and shit like that. That's like of this world. When you have an experience with something that's not of this world, it is so terrifying because it doesn't match anything that you could even explain. And so throughout my life, I was needing to use the God technique to rise above all of this fear, and I wasn't able to do that. And there was no answers in religion and none of the rituals, whatever and I'm not dissing religion. It's just, for me personally, I didn't see that it did anything at all. There was demons in the church. I mean, literally, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, since I've had access to that book and that information and those techniques, now I don't have to be afraid. Even if I go through something supernatural, and when I experience like demons and shit like that, I do not fear them. I don't even have a problem with the things, literally, as long as they're not fucking playing games with me or jinns or anything like that. Like, literally, because I can rise above it. I know the energy of God is higher vibrational than anything that could be dark or spooky or supernatural, or and furthermore, like when I was younger, I was seeing dead people all the time. I had a freaking dead person living in my closet growing up, and there would be dead people crawling on top of me while I tried to sleep and shit like that. And it was just very, very scary. And now if some shit like that were to try to even, like, it doesn't even make itself known to me like that as it used to, but if it were try to come into my space, I would just go right to God, right to my own connection to my higher self, And that energy that's with me crosses over immediately. When I take it to God, boom, gone. So again, it becomes a non-issue. So if you guys are struggling with anything like that you need to rise above, that book will help you. And again, yeah, I was praying as a child. I was calling out to God and all of that shit, but I thought it was something on the outside of myself. And I was calling out to Jesus and shit like that. And again, was I ever saved from being abducted and experimented on and all this other stuff? No. But with that book, I'm able to, and you know, it's not just the book, it's the techniques in the book and the knowledge. At first when I started using that book, it was all head knowledge, like I understood it, but it hadn't been integrated into my heart to where I had experienced it enough to be like, okay, yeah, I know that this is going to work. Like, there'll always be that grace period that you just have to give yourself. You know, when working with any type of tool or any type of technique, you use the tool and technique until you don't need it anymore. And that's what's great about tools and techniques, is that they're here for the time that you do need them. Okay. So yeah, I am doing a reading for everybody. If you guys have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 Cash App or $20 PayPal. Links to that are in the description box below. The second book I'm going to talk about is Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. This is the book that I've written. And this book is designed, I wish that I would have had this book when I was learning to read cards, seriously, because I had to learn with my abilities and God and the Holy Spirit. There was no like I'm sure there was probably a tarot for dummies thing, but like I didn't have anything like that. So I was literally just learning with my ability and with God. And so I've created this book so that those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, you don't have to go through the learning curve that I had to go through, not having anybody to teach me or anybody to even talk to me. I mean, literally the people that like, and I'm not dissing these people, but the people that wanted to mentor me, they did not have the gifts that are needed to like be able to use discernment and shit, confirmation. Like there was this one time that this freaking shadow being was in the house and everybody in the house was seeing the fucking thing, having crazy experiences. And it's not that it was a negative thing, but I called one of the people that was a mentor over and they're like, there's nothing in here. You're delusional. And I'm like, okay, except that everybody else in the house is seeing it. Bullshit. These other people I live with are not fucking psychic and they're still having experiences with it. But anyways, just because something feels ominous doesn't mean that it's bad. But when I had those fallen, whatever they were, things saying, oh, we're angels. Sure. Fallen fucking angels. But yeah. Okay. So this book has different, like all you need to start learning to read cards for yourself and for others is the original Rider-Waite deck, Riderwaite. I would go ahead and get the cards that have the words on them. When I first was learning to read cards, I was not introduced to the original Rider-Waite deck. I was introduced to, I think it was called the Goddess Tarot, which is every other version of tarot that exists comes off of this original interpretation. So I didn't even get to learn the original interpretations of what the cards mean until like way later. And when Visago, you know, was showing me like, hey, this is an ancient system, but the way that it's created, it maps the human lifestyle. I was like, throughout your human life, you could go through every single one of these cards, okay? And you will at a certain point. And so that's why, you know, I picked the major arcana cards first to write about, because those are the major transitions, like the Lovers, the Devil, the High Priestess, the Hangman, the Emperor, the Empress, the Sun, the Star. Those are the Moon, the World, the Chariot. And I created tarot card spreads that do a deep dive for each of the major arcana cards. And then I created spells that go along, because I'm, you know, before I was writing this book, I wrote initiations for every single one of the Ars Goetia spirits that King Solomon worked with. And I was writing initiations for all of this other stuff as well. And so, yeah, creating this type of stuff is like just very easy for me. So this book starts out with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you pull 2 cards for each position. The first card, well, one of the cards will be your south node. The other card will be your north node. The south node is like where you start out at life, your ego. The north node is where your destiny is at. And so then the spell that goes with that helps you step into your own destiny. You're stepping into your power to connect with one's destiny. And then I'll just read a position from, I'm going to read from the High Priestess tarot card spread. Okay. I'll read position 3, the High Priestess. This card position shows how adept you are to spiritual practice and the workings of magic. What level of mastery and divine education have you recently achieved? If you have an upgrade or a level up coming, the card that you pull for this position can show you your spectacular ascent. This card will give you clues to your divine feminine nature and higher self. How in tune are you with your inner goddess? And again, everybody has feminine and masculine energies. So just be aware of that. That's why I feel like you could take the gender out of tarot and just read the energy. And that's what I suggest that you guys do. But this book will help you integrate the major arcana cards, which means you'll be integrating the Emperor and the Empress, which is divine masculine and divine feminine, which is going to make you more of a whole person. So when do you allow yourself to be the feminine energy in your life? And when do you allow yourself to be masculine? If there is any inner guidance or divine power that's going to be passed down through your spiritual generation, that may come through the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the High Priestess card for this position, you will know that it's a double confirmation for you. Also, if the card that you pull is a yes answer card, then you will also know that you are compatible and integrated with your divine femininity. And then the spell for the High Priestess is for personal enlightenment. The Emperor tarot card spell is for obtaining powers, and in that spell I have you just draw a picture of yourself as you're the Emperor, like sitting on a throne, and then I've decoded like what the different colors mean. Red is power, divine masculinity. Blue is clearing, cleansing, protective energy. Yellow is inspirational, divine motivation. Orange is relationship with self and others. Green is healing, prosperity, and growth. And purple is regal energies. And then just to give you an idea of what else is in here, the Hierophant tarot card spell is for manifesting lack mindset, okay, into the void. So you're voiding it. It's a form of void magic, which is extremely powerful magic. Extremely powerful magic. But yeah, it gets rid of it permanently. The Lovers is for drawing love into one's life. Very general with that. These are not spells you do on anybody else. This is basically for you. But you could literally use this book to help other people understand their journey and to read for them as well. And so like you can do these spells and tarot card spreads as many times as you want, and you will get new information every time. So yeah, the Chariot is to remove obstacles. The Strength is to become stronger. Wheel of Fortune is to attract good fortune. And then in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when the different major arcana cards come out one next to each other, because that's always been like big sign. So I'm going to read from the High Priestess. The High Priestess tarot card is a spiritual practitioner card. The High Priestess is a self-initiatory and public initiation process. The High Priestess tarot card indicates a spiritual seeker. If you pull the High Priestess tarot card in the reverse, you can rest assured that you're dealing with a dark practitioner of spirituality. If you pull the High Priestess tarot card in the reverse and then pull the Devil tarot card, it indicates that the dark High Priestess serves or worships the demonic, or that they're acting from their like ego. When you pull the High Priestess and then pull the Moon tarot card, it can indicate that someone is working with the moon to spiritually possess you. If you pull the High Priestess and then pull the Hierophant tarot card, it could indicate that the High Priestess has a teacher, coach, or mentor who is a Hierophant, which would be like somebody that could teach them how to do stuff. If the High Priestess tarot card comes out with the Strength tarot card, it indicates that the High Priestess is extremely powerful. If you pull the High Priestess and the Death tarot card, it could indicate that someone is working with the High Priestess to keep you stuck or stagnant in your life. Again, don't be afraid of the Death card or the Devil card, because all that means, the Devil card is about overcoming greed, addiction, low vibrational behavior, gossip, slander, lust, that type of shit, like perversity, whatever. It doesn't always mean a negative entity. Sometimes it could. It almost never comes through that it's the actual devil. I don't believe that there is one devil. I believe that there is a whole category of things that are low vibrational. And some people probably call them deities, whatever. And back in the day, like back in Solomon's time, people were literally thinking that Baal and Moloch was God. So like you just have to look at it like that. But the devil, so you don't have to be afraid of these cards. Again, the death doesn't always mean a physical death is going to happen. Almost most of the time, it literally means that something is ending, which could be like a cycle with somebody. If you're going around and around with somebody, the death could also mean that it's an ending to a job, the ending of a way of thinking. So don't look at it and be like, oh shit, somebody's going to die. No, that's not. I don't ever get, like, I never really get messages of, oh, somebody's going to die. Usually if they're going to pass away, I will get that and I'll bring it about in a soft way. But like literally, I've never been I've had some people, because I've been doing this for a very long time. I've had some people be like, will you tell me what age I'm going to be when I die? I'm like, no, like, what the fuck? I don't want to know that. That's not the type of, like, what would that do for anybody? You know what I mean? So again, you don't have to be afraid of me saying any weird shit like that. And just let you guys know, if you didn't know this, the guy, King James, that wrote the King James Bible, he was homosexual, okay? If you want to know why he beheaded all of his wives, he hated women. Secondly, he was a demonologist. And I don't have anything against demonologists. Like I said, I love the book of Psalms, which King Solomon wrote part of that. And then the other people, we don't know who wrote the rest of it. But like, I love the book of Psalms because it's about somebody that has a real relationship with God. And I love the Ars Goetia and the Ars Notoria. Actually, everything that King Solomon has written, I have found very interesting. And so again, if you're working with any type of demon energy, okay, but you're working the same way that King Solomon did, working with it with God, you don't have anything to be afraid of. Like I said, there's not, people think that there's this huge agenda that the devil's trying to do all this shit. No, I don't see it that way at all. Okay. The way that I see it is that these lower vibrational entities, energies, whatever you want to call them, they're just being themselves, which just happens to be low vibrational, and whatever they're around and whatever they're influencing, they're doing it to be low vibrational. But, you know, like Visago's not low vibrational. It's categorized as low vibrational, but is it low vibrational? No. Everything in this book is about God and the Holy Spirit, and about, it's not about Jesus, because again, I don't outsource to Jesus. So I'm not going to put shit on Jesus's back. But like, this is about, you know, your spiritual development. So don't be so quick to judge. And, you know, just know that people that study demonology, if they do it from the right place, it's going to help them in life. It just does. When they do it from the wrong place, trying to control a demon, manipulate it, or get it to do their bidding, that's where they done fucked up already. That's where they're going to get played out of their spot. Okay, so just know that people that are trying to do that are losers. And there is a form of demon worship, but I forget what it's actually called. And it's not demonology, because demonology is like, you know, anytime you use the word ology with anything else, that just means the study of. What is it called when you worship demons?
According to Wikipedia, Satanism refers to a group of religious, ideological, or philosophical beliefs based on Satan, particularly his worship or veneration.
That's not actually true, because Satanists don't believe in Satan. They believe in rebellion, and they believe in the story of Satan. It's actually called demonolatry. Okay, when is the worship of demons, like bowing down and whatever. But yeah, like, don't be afraid of people that say they're witches, or say that they're Wiccans or pagans or Satanists or even Freemasons. Okay, they could just be saying that. Does that mean they have powers and abilities, or they're connected to the devil? No, it really doesn't. That's why we have to stop judging people. because it's not going to help us to be so damn afraid of things that we have no business being afraid of. So I feel like whoever this person is, they're not getting away with this. The universe is not just going to let them get away scot-free. They got to pay the piper. They have to pay some type of price for whatever this is. Yeah, for bearing false witness against you, lying, making up fake shit, fake news, defaming your character. Interesting. Why is this person doing that? Principalities, dignities. This person is lying about your character because they want people to look at the natural power that you have as some type of demonic force. Okay? What you do brings it brings enlightenment to other people and awakening, how can it be so evil? That's what I want to know. Judge people by the fruits of their labor, not the way that other people label it. Like, if what you're doing is helping people, and this is why I don't shit on people. Like, I don't look down at anybody that does voodoo or Santeria that is doing it in a correct way. Like, if that's their lineage, that's their thing, I don't judge them for that, for having a different perspective than, what I do. I don't judge people for that. I allow people to be who they are. But if they're abusing their powers and their abilities to hurt others, that's what I have a problem with. But I'm still not going to judge them for that because it's not my job. I just would stay away from people like that to the best of my abilities. Because I believe that voodoo, just like any other religion or spirituality, I truly in my heart and soul do believe that it can be used for good. I know it can. I know it can be used to heal. I know that the principalities can be used for positivity. You just have to go in with the right intention. And hell yeah, these energies want to be redeemed. They'll be like, yeah, let's get on board with God and the Holy Spirit. Anything. You know what I mean? Because they're so demonized. But yeah, I also get that somebody wanted to just come and knock the crown off of your head and tell you that you ain't shit. And it's like, okay, just let them do whatever they think that they need to do, because apart from that, they're just making shit up. They're lying about you. Yeah, you just need to cleanse your space of this person. Clear your energy. And it's not even that you have to cleanse your space of a principality or anything like that. Like, it's cleansing your space of this person that's a liar. And the moment that you pick up on their bullshit energy, being like, that's not my energy, it goes back to wherever it came from. Sometimes, and be aware that if the guidance you're getting is on witch talk, okay, please, you guys, if you're going to do any spell work, do it with God and the Holy Spirit. Do it on yourself. Don't do anything don't put other people in the freezer. Don't put people's names in. Don't bury, please do not bury anything that you have cursed and put that into the ground. That is a fucking very bad offense. That is very offensive to me and to the planet. Just because you see somebody else going like, oh, I'm going to put my period blood in this person's spaghetti and make them love me. 9 times out of 10, when people do that, they're either the shit kicked out of them by that person or they get unalived because of it. Okay. And that's why don't mess with people's free will. Don't try to block people because you're jealous. Don't put them in the freezer. Don't go to witch talk and follow some person you don't even know that's just telling you to do something because they heard it from somebody else. Like, come on, you guys, just use your intelligence. Some of you just need to release this person that's a liar, basically. Release them to their own devices. Yeah, because you have God on your side. Like, what is anybody going to do about that? The Most High, and literally, you inviting God into your home, into your life, into your heart, into your soul, your higher self, you making that connection, that is more powerful than smudging. It's more powerful than prayer. That's having a direct connection, an open line. That's like being somebody like Enoch. That's like being somebody like, oh, if you don't know about Enoch, oh my gosh, you should definitely invest in reading the book of Enoch. Totally awesome. And the book of Giants. But Noah, for example, okay, which I think, yeah, Enoch is like a predecessor to Noah. But all these people were prophets, basically, is what I'm saying. So again, when you develop your own connection with God, you know, that trumps any type of cleansing that you need to do, rising above it. Yeah, MK Ultra, MK Extra. God is protecting you from literally these people that want to end the world, and they want to use you as a science experiment, or they want to mind control you. So we're going to see what the hell is going on with these people. If you guys already know that, like, you have been a part of MK Ultra mind control experiment, if you don't know, look back to your grade school, okay? If you were like, okay, like for me, I would be having like hearing tests done on me 2 to 3, maybe 2 times a week. They would be calling me out of class to do a hearing test. Now, tell me what child needs their hearing tested like that? No, they were testing me to see if I could hear frequencies. They were doing all these other type of tests as well to see if I could guess what was on the other side of this card. Stupid shit. But like literally just experimenting on us. And so, yeah, if you have any memory of that, I claim my power and energy back. I cancel and rebuke all MK Ultra experiments, and I bring forward any memory of MK Ultra and any other program that the government has tried to do to experiment. And then I ask that the divine heal it. Because I don't feel like you can be mind controlled. The thing is that MK Ultra is looking for any avenue to be able to take over somebody's mind and get them to go against their free will and do something out of the norm. And they've not really been successful with that. So they're still searching. They're not going to find anything. 6 of Pentacles. It's putting them in debt more than anything else. So you could be dealing with somebody that is like broke. They wanted you to be the beggar. This person is misinterpreting how financial success comes into existence. This person's also trying to mess with your vision so that you don't see things clearly. That's all a failure. I don't know why my nose keeps running like that. You know what it's reminding me of, though? Like, Elle from Stranger Things. How she's using her ability of the nose, the blood starts coming down her face. That's what that reminded me of. Somebody's also afraid of your financial success. Like you're going to take over the market. I don't feel like you guys are a threat, to be quite honest. I don't get any type of threatening energy from you. Like, to where these people feel like it is necessary to invest in. No, they already did what they were going to do when you were a child, pulling you out of class and testing you in these stupid ways. They're not going to be able, or if they made you drink that pink liquid that tasted like shit, it was to suppress your memories. Yeah. It was called the gateway system. 3 of Pentacles. You have a community of people that need you. This could be like a group project. You could have been when in school they would have you do group projects with people. You could have been the one that contributed all of the work to the project, and there could have been other people in the project that wanted to take all the credit for it. I feel like you're dealing with that energy just on repeat when it comes to people. This is why I feel like even though you have a community of people supporting you, you don't need anybody. You don't need other people's help or input. And to be quite honest, I would not be listening to other people's opinions and what they think is the right thing for you. I would be listening to what your higher self is showing you through nature, through your own connection, through meditation, through visions, whatever. Like I would be listening to that over what some other person that thinks that they know what's best for you. How the fuck is another person going to know what's best for you above what you know what's best for you? And if they can't explain how they know what's best for you, then don't listen to them. But, also if you're thinking about jumping into a new career, shadow somebody in that career. Let's say you want to become a cop or EMT. shadow an EMT or a cop for a day so that you can understand what that job actually is about, or watch a YouTube video. Maybe you don't have to shadow them in real life, but watch a YouTube video about somebody talking about it so that you know what to expect. Confirmation, so that you're not just walking blindly into something. Six of Wands. There's still people that want to experiment on me because of my abilities. But again, them doing that is violating a contract that the extraterrestrial ancestors that I have made with the government. And so they can't. Six of Wands. You're going to come into public recognition. Victory over the opposition. I also get that, like, you being successful and showing people that you are not the beggar, but you're also not the lender. Like, I don't feel like you're starting any type of banking company where you're going to be lending people stuff. When people figure out that you've started this new business, this new company, this new idea, oh, thank you guys for being so kind. Literally, yeah, the pink juice was nasty. Oh my God, I would always throw it up. Literally, I would always throw it up. It was so gross. And I never understood, like, why the hell? They'd be like, oh, it's for an ear infection. Bull fucking shit, dude. But yeah, it was to wash your mind completely, your memory free of what they had just experimented on you with. Like, seriously. I get that fame is in the cards for you. You may become like the public face of a company, very well known, very influential, and the powers that be are losing power. They're not going to be able to control the outcome of your life and what your influence is on people. Queen of Wands. Whoever this person is, I don't like them and I don't like their energy. This is a methodical planner, somebody that is consistently plotting against you, and they are trying to put you in the Six of Pentacles, which is having to beg. Okay, this person does not want to see your career take off. They're like, no, it can't be. It can't be. It is going to be. I feel like this Queen of Wands is already stuck making payments. Maybe they're paying somebody that's in jail. And I hope that this is not nobody that you've been sleeping with or messing with in any type of way that's taking your money and giving it to some broke-ass loser in jail. Oh, that would make me upset. I also get that, like, this Queen of Wands, they want to look like they are responsible with money, but they're not. They're spending it when they don't have it, and they need to be putting something away, because you're not going to be the one to stick your hand out and give this person money. Like, seriously, they're thinking of using you and your dreams and your glorious success and your financial income as a way for them to make their, payments and stuff. That's not going to be happening. Yeah, they want you to pay their bills for them. Like, this is finally your time to shine. Good, I'm glad you have plenty ideas to share with the world. Yeah, this Queen of Wands is sleeping with the Knight of Cups. Why don't they just, get, or they're at least, they're sleeping with them, or this person's in jail, or this could be your ex. But yeah, these two people, they're in cahoots with one another. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if the ex is your queen, if the Queen of Wands is your ex, they're never going to be happy. If the Knight of Cups is your ex, they're never going to be happy. But what they need to do is stop looking towards you as a resource. You are no longer in these people's lives. You are no longer the resource. Point blank, period. That's why these people are in debt, because they can't steal anything from you. They can't take your energy. They can't take your paycheck. They can't block your work. They can't stop this victorious success that you're having. They can't stop a collaboration from coming into existence. They just can't. So why are these stupid people showing up? What is the point? Oh, because these people are lying on you. They're trying to get you caught up with the IRS. The IRS doesn't have any problem with you. Again, these governmental systems, they don't want to fuck around and find out. Like, seriously, the universal law is real. And they're not just going to follow up somebody's bullshit complaint when they know that these people are exes. 4 of Cups. And truly, why do people do the things that they do? Oh, if you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel. We're working to get to 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, I'll be able to take $20 super chats with your guys' questions. But yeah, these people are bored. Like, seriously, don't have anything better to do. You're the most interesting thing that they've ever come across. Wow, you've got to be kidding. These cards that just flew out in the reverse. No way. So like I said, stay away from these people, you guys. Okay? Stay away from these people. Like, seriously, you want to see what just came out in the freaking reverse? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. No bueno. All right. Lack of vision, inability to move forward. What goes around comes around with these people. Duh. I mean, anybody that has a brain could have said what you send out, you will get back. But these people probably didn't believe it. It says the past is catching up with them. Others plot revenge against them. Past wrongs committed against them will come back to haunt them, literally. A project will fail and experience setback. Bad luck must be endured, and any actions are fruitless. Courage is needed. Then you have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. No. These people, they're involved with some dangerous people, and they owe these people money. Signifies a man over 40, stubborn, hurts others' feelings without thinking, puts his own needs first, changes jobs frequently, successful, erratic mood swings, causes problems for others, not successful in relationships, blames others for his failures, overreacts to the slightest provocation, repressed anger. These people are not in their destiny, okay? They're not in their destiny. Interesting. So now that these people are finally getting their karma for whatever they did to you, they want to complain about it and come back. And like, I'm serious. If this is an ex, they've moved on with a whole nother person. Let them be with the person that they made their bed with. And let them pay their own debts. Like, this person could be trying to be like, oh, I accumulated this debt when I was with this other person. Doesn't matter. They were the ones that accumulated the debt. You didn't, whether they were with you or not, they were the ones that signed the paperwork. They're experiencing a loss of material possessions here, and they're blaming you. Yeah. Always blaming the innocent Queen of Cups energy. Like, you could have been like the literally perfect wife or perfect husband or perfect person to be with, and this idiot left you to be with somebody that's a not perfect person to be with, and now they're regretting it, and they want to just make a change. Nah. They need to stick with the choice that they made. Ace of Swords, because you're divinely protected. Wow, you can't believe you forgot about the setties they did on you and the pink juice. Wow, I'm glad that you remembered it, though. That's why I was calling those memories forward, so that we could heal from that. Yeah, definitely MK Ultra. Wow, those 3 cards just wanted to flop out. So the Ace of Swords is like probably one of my favorite cards because it shows divine protection. It also talks about your mission and career coming into the bigger picture and you being in alignment. Now this Chariot energy, that's the police, yo. That is like the popos, the authorities, I also get that this 2 of Wands energy, this is you. This is you working on your creative project. This is you starting a new company, starting a new adventure, waiting for your ships to come in. This 7 of Pentacles energy, these people are losing their resources, and for some, it feels like for some reason, There was a time when the tables were in the favor of these people, but now the tables are turning and it's like the favor is on your side and they don't like that. Which just goes to show. Yes, be ready for your new group of friends. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Judgment. These people are losing because they're being judged. Not by you. They're being judged because, first of all, these people did you so dirty. They could have apologized at some point. But no, they didn't. This is why they're up under judgment. They didn't do anything. And again, it's unrealistic to think that you can just shit on somebody, fuck their life up, and then apologize and come back in. No, but like, you know, when people go through like the 12-step program and they start apologizing to the people that they've hurt, it would just be good to apologize to people that you've hurt. And like, I'm not saying that you've hurt people, but these people, they have hurt a lot of people financially. They have hurt a lot of people financially and possibly emotionally and physically, but they'll not ever be sorry for that. Like for me, if I ever found out that I had hurt somebody and made them feel bad about themselves, like I would probably cry. I would feel very bad about that. Unless they were provoking me, you know, to the extreme, then I probably wouldn't feel that bad. But, you know, it's never my intention to hurt anybody. It really isn't. These people, they have the intention to hurt other people and they think that that's okay. And this is why they're up under judgment. 5 of Swords, because in their mind, they have to destroy you for them to succeed. They also were they're up under judgment because they committed illegal crimes. This could be like stealing somebody's identity, using somebody's social security number, trying to get citizenship in somebody else's name. These people did not think things through. They also committed legal crimes that is going to have a legal consequence. Yeah. They're going to be acting like, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's so freaking fair. Had you been had what these people planned for you gone through, that would have been unfair. Confirmation, because you didn't deserve none of that. But these people having to pay for the crimes that they already committed, that is actually fair. They just don't want to admit that. 6 of Swords. They're being dragged into court. These people are going to want to flee the country. Good luck with that. They're getting an unfavorable judgment against them. And they're also exhausted. These people have exhausted the angels. You have so much freaking protection, you guys. I also get that these people are going to be feeling very drained in the future. Good. Maybe they need to feel what it fucking feels like to be drained of everything. You know, these people need to feel what you had to go through. They really do. For them to be able to be sorry. And it's not about making them sorry, but these people deserve to feel this way. They do. Because they made you feel that way. Why shouldn't they feel that way? And that's why sometimes, like, you don't have to do it. Well, all the times, you don't have to do shit to your enemies. They're going to, by them doing something to you, they've done something massively bad to themselves. They've caused a chain of events to come in and smack them out. So just be aware that you don't ever have to seek revenge. These people that screw up, they mess over other people, they're the ones that will get that done to them. The Sun. And if you guys could like and subscribe to the video, or to the channel, it so helps you guys. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can do super chats. But yeah, so I can answer your guys' questions for super chats. But the Sun, you guys have gone within and healed. You're also like ready to devote your time and energy to maybe a doubtful project that you thought wasn't going to be successful because these people were interfering. They're not going to be able to interfere. Not in the future. And it doesn't matter who else they go to. They need to just go to a lawyer, to be quite honest. They need to go pay somebody that's in the legal system to handle this lawsuit that they have. And if they did do anything like identity fraud or whatever, everything will be wiped clean for you. I also get that this is your time to succeed. Whatever you plant will grow. You're investing in bettering the world, and that's why the world is investing in bettering you. That's like what you send out, you get back. The moon. So how opposite is that? You're showing up the sun, they're showing up the moon. That's like straight up opposite as energies. Even though both exist, it's just these people do things. They're a secret enemy. They do shit in the darkness. And it will never make sense to me how these people think that they're not being seen by God because they're doing it at nighttime or doing it in a closet. I'm sorry, but God's energy is everywhere. It's in everything. Like there's nothing that anybody can do that the higher realm cannot see. Yeah, you're dealing with an emperor in the reverse. Somebody that lacks maturity, who's a domineering bully, a pushy, domineering bully, self-centered person. Danger. This person's a danger of serious injury in competition or battle. They're going to hurt themselves trying to compete or fight you. Loss of prestige, shame, loss of a job, loss of control, loss of power, domination. This person could be losing everything from control to domination to legitimately everything. The world. And this person's pissed. I can feel it. They are pissed. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. And the subscribes. They're pissed because they see you moving on with the world here. The sun and the world. Yeah. You got shit coming in. You're getting to move possibly as well. Relocate or start a new job. This person wants to start the new job, the new business. They want to continue to compete. They're not going to be able to do that. But they want to start, yeah, fool, because this person's stupid. Not to call the fool stupid, but this person is foolish. They're trying to investigate into what you're investing in so that they can do the same thing, because they know that whatever you invest in is going to be prosperous. That's pathetic. Why don't people just do what makes them happy? If people would legit invest in themselves and do what makes them happy, they would be successful in it and they'd be able to take care of themselves. Like literally. These people are looking in all of the wrong places. And they're not taking into consideration with this like plot planning crap that they couldn't take into consideration that you'd be divinely protected by the Lord, like your higher self. Like they could not, because they don't look in that type of area. These people are looking solely in the physical realm as what you're doing, what you're investing in, so that they can get on board and be a competitor or a copycat. 8 of Wands, but it's led them to literally a crossroads to where they're going to have to think, okay, well, now I'm at a crossroads. I've 4 different directions I could go. This person can't go where you're going, where you're headed. This person, they don't have the vibration to sustain it. Yeah, what's wrong with people? That's a good question, It's a new era. It's a new time for justice. It's the new age of Aquarius, which means the age of sacrificing people and doing all of this wickedness is over. And the people, they don't think it's possible for the earth to change. They don't. They think that these old systems and old ways of being and old crap that they're doing is going to just last forever. Why would anybody ever think that? No, things are always on a time base. Page of Swords. Yeah, spying and monitoring you. I don't even feel like with monitoring you and spying on you that they're getting anything that's worth them investing in that. Yes, it is, because your energy is contagious and good. That's literally it, you guys. You are an Aquarius. There you go. Literally. Yeah. Happy birthday to all the Aquariuses out there. Yeah, Seven of Wands. You've had to already defend yourself from these people. You probably know who this domineering bully is. You most definitely know who they are. You have already won this battle. It wasn't even a battle because, again, you're not gonna the thing, the trick to not engaging in spiritual warfare. And I'm not telling you not to pray, but when somebody is sending you attacks, don't do anything. Like, know that God is that you are protected divinely. You can rise above anything. But don't start like returning the energy, getting in battle mode, because the moment that you start to fight the spiritual warfare back, right? That causes you to engage in it, and that's playing their game. They want you to have to like say these prayers and fight after them and et cetera, okay? If you don't, like, when people send that shit to you and you can pick up on it, just know that you are protected from it. You're aware of it, but you're protected from it. And you can even say angels, guides, handle it, you know, and don't personally engage in it, because the moment that you do that, boom, you enter into the trap of spiritual warfare, which is having to fight these people. And this is not your fight. No, absolutely not. These people have a problem that you are a representation of God. You literally like resemble verbatim what they consider God to be. That's what they have a problem with. They don't like God, and they don't like themselves, because everyone's higher self is God. So they definitely don't like themselves. And sometimes all it takes is you smiling one day, loving yourself, putting yourself first, to send these people over the edge. Because they're like, how dare you? Like, the fuck are you supposed to do? Love them? They don't even love themselves. And if somebody wants to be in a relationship with you and they don't love themselves and they don't have peace in their life, that's not a relationship that's going to work. If they can't love themselves, how are they going to love you? And you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's just taking, and can't contribute. And if you get with somebody and you feel like this person will be perfect after blah, 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 blah changes, just know that if you can't accept somebody for the way that they are, for who they are right now, and love them unconditionally and entirely, don't even fuck with that person, because you thinking you can change somebody is delusional. Okay. You don't need, and why would anybody want to be with somebody that's a fixer-upper? That's like settling. And I totally understand having those different contrasting experiences to figure out what you do want. But I am telling you that you are worth gold. You're worth, whatever it is that you do want in somebody, you're worth that. And allow those contracting experiences to be just that. Ace of Pentacles. You've had to defend what God has given you. That's crazy. But the thing is that God is always protecting your money. And I also feel like you have access to things that these people don't. They can't gain access to that. Not through technology, not through whatever, weaponizing themselves. Your projects will grow and prosper. And if you have to defend them, do so by asking your guides to do it, to handle it, knowing that God, the more you put trust and faith that God has got you, the more you're going to see evidence of that, because that's actually the truth. Yeah. Trust in your own instincts and your own ideas. If somebody wants to argue what your idea is, don't tell people what your plans are, because they only want to know that shit for one of two reasons: so they can be a part of it or they can destroy it. Okay. So tell people what your plans are. And if you don't know who you can trust no one but yourself. Develop that inner, Get the Truth of God by Michael Steadman. The links to that's in the description box below. But develop a connection with your higher self. Trust in that connection. Trust in yourself. That's where I would be. Stop trusting all of these people. If you don't know who you can trust yourself. And then start asking questions. Can I trust this person? Can I trust this person? Can I trust this person? If you get a no, And again, if you get a no consistently on somebody, even if you love that person, don't have them around you, because if there's something about them that you can't trust, which means you could, there could be something that they do in the future, which could be like taking your man, taking your woman, stealing from you, whatever, like getting you involved in things you have nothing to do with. Just believe the answers that you get. When people show you who they truly are, with like showing you their true colors and what they're about, don't think that they are the version that you thought that they were. Don't be delusional. I used to be like that. I used to be like, no, like I would want somebody to be fit a certain type of thing, like to make me feel good, and they just were not that certain type of thing, and their actions would show me their true colors, but in my mind I would be like, no, they're this way, and that's a delusion. So don't listen to that. The more the what you want in a friend, you guys find it within yourself. The positive traits that you want your friend to have, just focus on those positive traits within yourself and grow that and establish that. And when you pull somebody in, they will possess those traits. But be your own best friend first, and then you can be a friend for somebody else. And some people, you guys, those of you that are psychically gifted, okay, and people know this, like I never had friends growing up. I was not liked. That's okay. But like when I came out as a psychic, then everybody wanted to be my friend. And it was only to use me for my abilities. So just know that if you pick up that somebody is just there to benefit off of you, then that's not a friendship. That's, one person trying to use another person. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's somebody that's working very hard on spying on you. They could be trying to bully you online. All very unsuccessful things to invest in. You see right through people. You do. It's such a beautiful gift, though. That's why you got to be careful who you tell about it. Because these weirdos, they will try to hide. They'll be like, hold on, let me put on this mask. Let me put on this mask. Let me put on this mask. And you'll be like, it doesn't matter how many masks you put on. I can see right through the shit. Like I can see that you are not, for anybody's highest and best good. I get that you're not always going to draw in people like this. So just know that. I also get that, what you've invested in is good enough. You're good enough. Okay. You are. You really are. What do we need to know before we shut the reading down? Yeah, you're a Nine of Pentacles. You're going to remain that way. Nobody's taking your money. Nobody's taking your investment. Nobody's going to pull you out of being able to stand on your own 2 feet. Why would anybody want to even, like, I would never even want to do that to, like, my worst enemy. Make them be a dependent beggar. That's fucked up. Like, that's pure evil and hatred right there. You are dealing with a passive-aggressive coworker. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so you know what? When you're dealing with people like that, I mean, this person is not, yeah. I would just literally see if you can stay away from them as much as possible. Okay. But yeah, you may have to like literally tell that person, I know who you are, I know what you're doing, and I know what you're here to do, and I'm not gonna let you to snake me. Like, but yeah, that shit's gonna continue going on until either you leave that job or that person gets fired. Page of Wands. It's so funny to me how these younger people, they can think they can step up to the plate and take the position of somebody that's like, somebody that's worked hard, that's actual, what is it, qualified and credible. Page of Pentacles, 2 young ass energies. No. Not your problem. These younger people, not your problem. Yeah, when you get this new job or you change residences or whatever, don't tell anybody about it. I would also be very, Bless your food, you guys. If you're using Uber Eats, bless your food, okay? I'm not saying that anybody's gonna like put any shit in your food or anything like that, but I do get that sometimes the people that are doing Uber Eats that are driving the food around and stuff, that they just they're not happy. They don't have a good attitude. They don't want to be doing what they're doing. And food is consciousness. And so that energy will go into the food. So just bless it. I would be like blessing it and acknowledging that the food comes from God and that it's a blessing. And then I would just bless it from any hands that touched it or prepared it. And that's why preparing your own food is a good thing. Interesting. So yeah, you're going to be able to stand, because God's got your back, and because you don't have to rely on the human world for resources, you rely on God and the divine to bring you what you need. You'll always have miracles. You'll always have everything that you need. 5 of Cups. And these people are going to be in deep regret. I don't know. Somebody thinks that you've got it. Like you've got enough to fund their business, fund their bullshit, to send their kids to college. I don't know who these people are, but they are delusional. You know, I don't know if they were like, what's this person's net worth? But these people think that you have it, that you have something that they can take. And I get that what you have is for you. It's enough for you. It's not enough for all of these other fucking people, you know? And so they need to stop trying to think that they can trick you into giving up your resources. These people would need a lot more resources than just your resources to stay afloat. And these people are crying over spilt milk, spilt alcohol, whatever it is. And they're experiencing setbacks, and they're all losing right now. Because you're protected, which means they lose. And I feel like you would have to literally give something up and you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're not going to give out the location of where you're going. You're not going to give out the name of this new business. You're not going to give out to these people anything, any type of information. No. Empress. Because you're showing up as a divine being. There could be an Empress coming into your life. You could be this Empress. Or this could be just talking about your divine feminine energy. So yeah, I like literally get that, you know, if this Emperor in the reverse wants to come in and take your place or whatever, they can't. Yeah, because these people are in the tower, them and their children. They lost twice already, so now it is your time to shine. Absolutely. You can't stand the delivery app orders. Yeah, I think it's just like so freaking expensive to eat out nowadays. It really is. But when I like preparing, you know, my own stuff, at least I can trust and I know what's going into it. Divine feminine energy. Okay, so divine feminine energy is like everybody has feminine and masculine energies. Divine feminine energy has to do with like creativity, intuition, motherhood. It has to do with being a nurturing person, very intuitive, very psychic, very empathic. That would be that. And everybody has feminine and masculine energies. So it just, some people are more in their feminine, some people are more in their masculine, and some people have integrated the both of them. Yeah. You don't trust no one. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When you when you don't know who you can trust, stop trusting everybody, go within and trust yourself, and then go through the people that you feel like you can't trust and be like, can I trust this person? No, I can't. Okay, then I'm going to let them go. Because I feel like you guys are not going to have a hard time letting these people go. They're going to have a hard time letting you go. You know what I mean? Even though you probably are not actively talking to them. Good. I love that. I'm so glad that you're at peace, you guys. I love that. Oh yeah, if somebody's trying to harm you at work, HR does not exist for the benefit of the people that work for the company. It exists to keep the company safe from its own employees. But I would definitely I would take your phone out and record that and show it to a manager for sure. If that type of thing's going on, I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. You should not have to leave your job for nothing. 6 of Cups. Look, these people, they're in the Tower because whatever they've been doing to younger people, we had 2 children pop out. They're in the Tower for that. I also get that whatever this is, whatever it was, it's not working anymore. It's just not. Whatever this it's like a contract is up. These people had a certain amount of time to do something to you, and that time has passed. Queen of Swords, because you cut them off. Queen of Swords is somebody that has no problem cutting off people when they need to be cut off. And that's not doing it. It's not like you're doing it in a harsh way because you want to hurt them. You're doing it so that you can protect yourself. Like, that's all. These people, they take everything so personally. Like, you're trying to, like, every time you smile or have a good day or are successful or meet a new client or a new person or have a peaceful moment, these people take that like it's a personal dig at them. You're not thinking about these fucking people when you were living your everyday life. And this is why they're the ones that are self-absorbed. And they're also very guilty. They feel guilty for, you know, sacrificing children and all of this nonsense. But I'm serious. Like, you cut cords with people and cut people off to protect your own peace. Yes, I love your energy too. It's so good. You're protecting yourself. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to say no to people. It's okay to close the door. Some people will take an open door with you, like the fact that they can text you, as you giving them consent to do witchcraft on you. That's why, like, some people you just have to be like, no. Because again, these people, they haven't learned their lesson yet. They have like gone around just doing witchcraft on everybody, thinking that the shit works, and it's not, you know. Yeah, they should name HR, human resources, more as company resources. They should call it CR. Oh, really? So yeah, I've always been psychic, so I've always just been able to get, like, when I first started doing readings, I didn't know about tarot cards, so I would just write everything down on a piece of paper before they came in for the appointment. But yeah, you should, if you're wanting to learn to read tarot cards and you're not psychic, you should get Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. The link to this is in the description box below. And get the original Rider-Waite deck, which is this deck. It's RYDERWAITE. And get the deck that's got the words on the card, the description. It's so much better than having to flip through a book. But yeah, so how other people read cards, I don't know what they're doing, but I know what the card represents, and then I have the other knowledge that I have, basically. And I can tell you exactly how I do it. But yeah, if you're wanting to learn, Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is going to definitely be the book. That's the book I wish I had when I was learning, because I had to just learn from scratch, and I didn't even learn from the original Rider-Waite. And yeah, the original Rider-Waite has the best interpretations. 10 of Swords. Yeah, these people, you know, everyone that you work with has been to HR about her behavior. And if they're not doing anything, yeah, a mean girl situation. I would like laugh at that person. Literally. And if they try to provoke you, just walk away. Well, I would record the shit. Because again, if HR is not going to do anything about it, then you could literally sue the company in the future. If you have evidence of it being a hostile work environment, you could sue them for not doing anything about it. And they would be pissed if you had, you give everyone to God, literally. Yeah, that's the best thing that you can do, you know? So if any of you guys have any questions, you can send me a $20 super chat. or not a super chat on this channel. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can do that. But I do have Cash App and I have PayPal in the description box below. But I would do it at the beginning of the reading. That way we have enough time to answer your questions. But yeah, giving everybody to God when they cause that's, thank you. Thank you for doing that, because it's saving your butt. You don't want to get involved. Like I said, the trick about spiritual warfare is if you respond to it or you react back, or you feel like you need to do something to counteract it, that's engaging in it. And you could just sidestep it by letting the divine handle it. And knowing that when you know who you are as God, as your higher self, when you know that, you understand that nothing can harm you. I also get that, you know, this new place that you're going, the people are going to be different. So just don't expect, I would still go within and heal whatever it was within you that pulled these people in. But like when you move to a new location, these people are not going to be there. And so you're not going to have, or, you know, if this is a new job, again, it could be a new job and a new home. But I'm getting that these people are not going to be there. These types of people do not exist everywhere. And so you're not going to pull the same situation in. Is that true? Yeah. So you're not going to pull the same situation in once you learn whatever it was that these people were after, which I feel like, you know, they're after the Four of Pentacles, the inheritance that God gave you, which is something that the human world cannot take. When God gives to you in the world, in the way that the world cannot just take away what God gives. It's like somebody being like, oh, I'll just take that person's psychic power. Like, what? You're going to take something that God gave them, that their ancestors gave them away? You're not going to be able to do that. And people that think that they're doing that are very foolish, and they're being deceived. I also get that somebody doesn't want you to know about a gift that you do have. Man, I wish that your guys' family members would just come the fuck forward and be honest with you, because this ability exists in your bloodline. And so why don't they just tell you about it? That is so annoying. Like, you shouldn't have to figure this shit out on your own. They should just be like, hey, by the way, Mima has an ability. Maybe they think it's a sin or taboo or whatever, but like, spiritual gifts are gifts. They're called a gift. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes being an empath could feel like a curse, but it's only feels that way until you master that ability. Jesus was a master empath. He could take whatever somebody was like energetically had going on and boom, like empath it, transmute it immediately and heal it. But like literally once you master the ability, it is actually a gift, because you can read anybody's energy at any time and you can feel what they're doing and what they're going through. That is a gift. And when you're able to separate yourself from what's theirs and from what's yours, and not just absorb, because empaths is like being a sponge, like you just absorb, you know, so much. And so when you can learn, and I can teach you guys if you want a technique to clear empathic energy, the one that I use all the time. But yeah, when you can just know the gifts that you have, it's so much easier. And then knowing that if you don't use a gift, it's just going to work on its own, which will feel chaotic, you know. But if you start using the gift and listening to it and working with it, you're going to master it. And then it'll be a superpower that you have, you know. Oh, you heard a growl just logging in here. Wow. I think your mom knows too. Exactly. Absolutely. Wow. Do you have any, my next question would be, do you have any pets? Anything that could actually growl, like a pet, like a dog, or I don't know if cats growl, they more hiss, but like, or does a neighbor, if you're connected to another building with somebody else? Sometimes we'll just go straight to thinking it's something supernatural and then not even realize that it could be something that is of the physical world that's not really supernatural. But yeah, no, it's not that. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's not cool. If you're having growling sounds, does that happen all the time? You know, you may want to think about investing in sage or prayer, praying Psalm 91. Yeah. And if you guys were to like start to experience, like, let's say that you do move to a new location. If you were to invite somebody over or let somebody in your house, and then right after that you start having experiences, please look at the fact that somebody could have had something attached to them. And yeah, these things, once they get in your house, it's freaking hard to get rid of them. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, whoever this bully is that you're dealing with, this stupid person, and I use stupid very loosely because they're like unaware. They have a very unforgiving attitude towards you. I mean, what could you have done to this woman? This is a female. What could y'all have done to this person? I literally am not seeing anything that you've done at all. This person takes without giving. I just like domino effect. Knocked over some more decks that I'm going to have to crawl under there and get later. Gives only when something is to be gained. She has a strictly materialistic outlook. Who is this person? What the hell is wrong with them? Okay. Whoa, what is this? The Two of Swords. Yeah, this person is blocked out of your energy. You blocked them. You blocked this person. You figured it out. Wow. That whoever that Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, be suspicious of them. I would not be telling them anything of importance. Yeah, but you've got Archangel Michael. Like I said, you've got backup. You're not here doing anything alone. I feel like anybody that is wanting to put you in a category with somebody else, they don't know you like that. They don't know you. They can't just categorize you. Like literally, they can't do that. Strength, because they don't know your strength. They don't know the strength of Archangel Michael, and they're about to find out. They're about to find out that no, ain't none of this devilment. I don't care if they've been sacrificing children to Baal or Moloch or whatever. Archangel Michael is stronger. Okay. I get that this group of people, they're weirdos. Some of them sacrifice to the angels that are under the Euphrates. I would just leave that shit alone. 10 of Wands. Let these people carry their own burdens. You know, I'm serious. Let them carry their own burdens. I would not be allowing them access to your life or to your energy or to anything, because they're going to abuse that. These people doubt their own self-worth. You know, everything's up in question for them. 10 of Cups, and you're entering into your happily ever after era. So like I said, ignore purposeful triggers. Don't reveal your gifts and abilities to people that you know you can't trust. I also feel like, you know, if somebody wants to try to punish you for cutting them off, let them attempt to do whatever they're going to do. Okay. The best thing for these people is if they would go within and find God and stop doing this dumb shit, but you're going to be protected either way. And anybody that you work with and collaborate with, you know, of your own free will is also going to be protected. So this person, they want to bully you at your job, bully you at whatever. Yeah. There are ways that you can, I would just record them literally. And you're allowed to do that. If somebody's threatening your life or trying to impose harm on you, you can absolutely record them. And if they are like, you can't record me, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, like maybe not if you're in a room with a patient and that's patient privacy or whatever, but like, you know, out in the working area that y'all share, you can record them if somebody is acting a fool. And this Emperor in the reverse, they feel like they missed out on something great when it comes to you. Like they also feel like they're up under judgment because they owe a lot of money. And this King of Pentacles and the freaking Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, these people are not in their destiny. They're not standing in their power. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they've got to make payments. And it's not to, they don't have to make payments to you. They need to make payments to the government, to the courts, to the devil. And they're not going to be using your resources to do so. And the faster that they figure that out, the easier things are going to be for them. I'm not kidding. This court case, court issue, arrest problem that they're having, you're not paying for that. If this person was bullying you online, it's a return to sender times 10. They're just really triggered because these people are karmic people with mental illnesses and personal vendettas, and they're pissed off because they went to a root worker or some stupid shit and it didn't work. The roots didn't root. That's funny because obviously you're able to get a new position and move forward. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please and thank you. She attacked you the first week she was hired. That's so fucked up. Yeah, I would like ask your angels to handle it because this person's also a liar. Yeah, they have energies that are after them that I would not want to ever have to deal with. Is there anything else from this deck that we need to know about? Criminal, crimes, fraud. That came out already, though, on the other deck. But yeah, these people have committed fraud against you or felony or whatever. And they're being haunted for it. Boogeyman. They're being haunted because they were spinning a false narrative, false portrayal, bearing false witness. Wait, that was upside down. False, my bad. False narrative, false portrayal. Seriously, false prophets. You were dealing with people that were false prophets. And they know that you're a real one and they don't like that. One card for the present energy. Okay. Let's give us something good, Spirit, so that we know what to look for. Thank you. Pick a card from the Twin Flame Tarot. As I thought I was getting done. Okay. But yeah. That's funny. I'm always like, oh, yeah, we're getting to the ending of the reading. And the Spirit's like, no, you have not completed. You have not completed everything that needs to be seen here. Okay, what is it from the Twin Flame Tarot that we need to see? What is of the highest priority for the present energy again? I feel like the present energy is you win, they lose. God, my nose keeps running. It is bugging me so bad. Bugging me. Okay. One more. So what is it? What is up with all this friction? I don't like that. One smooth. All right, there we go. Okay. 5 of Cups, loss and grief, disappointment, blinded to love. This person... Okay, you're not blinded to love. You're not experiencing loss and grief and disappointment. They're blinded to something. They don't see something clearly. Yeah, they're pissed off because you have an Ace of Cups, which is love from God. New love, emotional, emotional awakening, intuition, spirituality. This person is grieving because they're stuck in a relationship that they don't want to be in. And you're over here catching new feelings, moving in a new direction. What else? Anything else? Knight of Pentacles, that person came out twice. Practical and reliable. This person is not going to be your new love. You're not accepting anything less than the Emperor, Empress, and the Upright, okay? Like anybody that's going to come in on some stupid shit, you already see through that. And this is why you don't need this person. I don't know why they think that you need them so bad. What do they even have to offer a woman or a man or a man-woman, whatever? I'm serious. What does this person think that they have to offer? Because I don't see anything other than problems. Sometimes when you get rid of a person, get them out of your life, all of your problems stop. That's what happened when I got divorced. All of the problems I was experiencing stopped. And then I still had to deal with the trauma and abuse that I had been through for, a very long time. But at least that was better than not continuing to be abused. And I'm not saying that I'm a victim. My dumbass forgave that person after they would beat me over and over again because I believed that marriage was whatever. Anyways, bullying, fighting, arguing, isolating, blackmail, entrapment, frame, setup. Like I said, this person, bullying came out twice. They're on the dumb shit. And they think that this is why I really want people to get it together. They think that they are going to play God in your life. No, you are already God in your own life. What the fuck? These people are not going to play God. They're going to look real stupid trying to do that. They already did. Anybody that's going to resort to going to a root worker or doing root work on you, that is trying to play God in somebody else's life. Like, what do you need to do that shit for? Unless you're healing or helping someone, which I don't think a destiny swap is positive. I don't think moon magic is, I mean, moon magic, depending on how you use it, what your, it's all about your intention. Graveyard magic, necromancy, death spells, the evil eye. No. And these people are committing crimes physically as well. And this is like over a vendetta that they don't even need to have with you because you've not, like, if this person, okay, the way that this person has harassed you, you know, if you did this shit back to this person, they would not be able to take it. I'm telling you, they would not be able to take it. So they have no idea what they put you through. You know, seriously. They have no idea. Sad. They're going to figure it out, though, when they go through it. And then they'll be like, oh, that's what I did to collective. Yeah. Well, you know, what's what you tried to do, but they were protected. But still, you could have just having to pick up empathically on the energy that these people were on is sickening, and it lowers your vibration. I suggest that you just continue to move forward. You don't need these people. They need you. Like, straight up, they do. These people, they need God. They need to go within themselves, but I would just not interact with them at all. That's going to be the easiest and best thing that you can do. And if they want to bully you online, block and ignore them. Okay. Don't take anything to heart what they say. Do not even care what they say. Seriously, nobody can judge you. Seriously. I mean, a judge could, but that's a different situation. No walking around person can just randomly be like, oh, you deserve to this, this, and this, and this. And they can say what they want, but, you know, you can rebuttal them. Matthew 7:1-5, judge not that you be not judged. And they could have said that a little bit better. Or Romans 2:1-3. You therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things. Hypocrites. You know what I mean? But you guys are going to be fine. You already are fine. You're moving towards your highest and best goals. So I'm proud of you guys. Thank you for making it to the ending of the reading. I love you guys so much. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can take super chats, and then I can answer your guys' questions. So before we go, I'm going to talk about the 2 books that are life-changing. The first one is The Truth of God. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook, and it's got many, many different techniques that help you gain control over your reality and create a positive reality. And so I've always been psychic, but I was missing the spiritual connection to God, like the organic one, and to my highest self. And like the techniques in this book gave me that, where all of my life I have been trapped in the psychic realm, in the ego, afraid of everything that my abilities I was seeing and picking up on, just totally frightened. The God technique gives you the ability to rise above it. When I first started doing the God technique, it's like God's consciousness is up here, and my ego consciousness was like way down here. It was like, woo, like an elevator ride of shift in consciousness. The more that I do it, the less, gap or shift in consciousness occurs, because it integrates. And then it gives you the ability to look at things through the lens of unconditional love, compassion, joy, and peace. And So that one's probably the most powerful technique in the book because it changes everything about yourself. The second technique, I mean, this has, cleansing the emotions, cleaning out the temple, physical health. It's all about frequency, creating your own reality, tools to creating a positive reality, the spiritual bank, future, past, and now. But the second technique is the joy versus anger technique. And that's the technique that I use whenever you see me asking yes and no questions. That's the technique I'm using. Everybody has clairsentience, which is clear feeling. And so the joy versus anger technique works upon clairsentience. And it's more accurate than muscle testing or a pendulum where you could get a false read through those other methods. Okay. And then the third technique is the mind technique, which gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions and be like, are these beliefs that I'm holding on to serving me? And you can start to use the mind like the tool that it is, because again, it's not going to serve you to have a belief. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, whether you believe it is or not. And you can start becoming an intuitive person and having a real connection with your higher self, God, and rising above things. You can start immediately by getting this book. You do not have to be psychic or intuitive. It literally tells you that. And so, yeah, there's also the 1 to 10 method, which I use all of the time, which is like 1 being low compatible, 10 being very compatible. So yeah, this book saved my life many, many times. I would have probably unalived myself had I not had those techniques. The second book I'm going to talk about is Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. This is the one that I've written. And I'm just going to read. So for each of the major arcana cards, so if you're wanting to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, get this book, okay? And get the original Rider-Waite, Ryderwaite deck with the descriptions on the cards. It makes it so much easier. I wish that I had the descriptions on the cards, and I wish that I had been led to that from the very beginning. Okay, I'm going to read. So this book starts off with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you pull 2 cards for each position, and one's going to be your south node where your ego's at, where you start out at, and one's your north node where your destiny is. And so you get to learn and then integrate the energies of the zodiac. The spell that goes along with that is to step into your own destiny. So I'm going to read this is the Empress archetype. I'm going to read a little bit from because for each of the major arcana cards, I have a tarot card spread that goes into depth for that card. So the Empress is number 3. The answer is yes. Zodiac is Aries and Taurus. The Empress is the divine feminine and sacred mother. She is free due to the amount of respect and success that she has achieved. She lives a life of material comfort, wanting for nothing. She represents a loving relationship between mother and child. She is in excellent health and condition. The Empress can represent royalty as well as fertility. Pull 1 card for each position. Position 1, the personal divine feminine archetype and ego. This card position shows you information relating to your south node energy. This means that you will receive information and insight into the depth of your ego. Your personal divine feminine archetype may show through here. This position gives you a sense of how awakened you are to your divine life purpose and mission here on the earth. This position gives you knowledge about the lower self ego that you have been identifying with. Position 2, the higher self divine feminine archetype of the Empress. This position can show you how fertile you are. You may see how the archetype energies that you pulled in the last card relate to yourself in this position. This card position will show you how in touch you are with motherhood, and you may get a message about how to heal the bond with your mother. If you pull the Empress card for this position, then you will know that you are in alignment with your Empress self. We all have divine feminine and masculine within us. So even if you're a man, this card still relates to your divine feminine nurturing energy. Position 3, current archetype position. When an archetype gets created, a position is formed in the universe that connects the archetype to the whole of creation. In your life right now, you have created an archetype. The card for this position will give you some insight into your own personal archetype energies. You will gain insight into how you fit into the world. What purpose does your position hold? If you were to pull the Empress Tarot card for this position, it would be deemed as a good omen. And then it just keeps going on. And the Empress Tarot card spells for beauty and self-development. The Emperor Tarot card spells to obtain powers. The Hierophant is to manifest lack into nothingness. So you get rid of lack mindset. The Lovers is to draw love into one's life. The Chariot is to remove obstacles. The Strength is to become stronger. The Wheel of Fortune is to manifest good luck. The Justice is to get justice against those that thought that they got away with it. The Hangman is to sacrifice things that are no longer for your highest and best good. I just seen this one part. I'm going to read this one part of what is it? Is this the Justice? I'm going to read a little bit from the Justice Tarot card spell. So the prayer part, and you'll do a little ritual, but like the prayer part says, I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out the spirit of the scales of justice into this spell and into my life in general. Whoever is doing injustice to me will be revealed as I am healed from their transgressions. I ask that the mighty spirit of justice seek after anyone who seeks to persecute me or prosecute me in any form or fashion for what I know or channel from the Most High God and the Holy Spirit. And then this other part says, I invoke, draw in, and evoke, draw out La Santa Muerte, the Lady Saint of Death, who looks after desperate cases and lost causes. Others seek to imprison and destroy me unjustly. They assassinated my character by slandering and gossiping about me. Now they want to bully and spiritually manipulate me against my will. They want what I have and will not stop pursuing me. They harvest my energy. Please come to save me, La Santa Muerte. Please, with the Most High God, to intercede on my behalf. For enemies gather together for reasons that I know not, to work in unison against my life, fate, destiny, and lot. Do not let them get away with falsely imprisoning me. Do not let them steal what is mine. I trust that you, great lover of life, will help me stay free from evil and strife. I thank you, La Santa Muerte, for helping me deal with, and then you say your specific situation. I seal this prayer with my trust. Amen. So yeah, and then in the back of the book, you guys, is a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when you start to pull the major arcana cards coming out one next to each other. So I'll read a little bit from the Empress. It says, if the Empress Tarot card comes out in a reading, it means that you are dealing with the divine feminine energy. The Empress represents a loving mother that is compassionate yet potent with their love. The Empress is the highest ranking female card in the tarot. Pulling the Empress Tarot card means that you're dealing with a boss and a ruler. If you pull the Empress and the Emperor in the same reading, it could be talking about an equally yoked relationship between a man or a woman. If you pull the Empress in the reverse, it could be interpreted as a transgender energy or a man who has a very feminine demeanor. If you pull the Empress Tarot card with the Temperance Tarot card, it could mean that the person that you're dealing with or speaking on is not retaliating against attacks. If you pull the Empress with the Death Tarot card, it could mean that whoever is in question could be losing their spiritual rank soon. If the Empress Tarot card comes out with the Lover's Tarot card, it could mean that someone has a spiritual divine union soul twin flame contract. When the Empress comes out with the High Priestess Tarot card, it means that you are taking control back of your life. If you pull the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune Tarot card, it could mean that you are at the top spiritually and that you are about to be on top financially and physically. Yeah. If you pull the Empress with the Strength Tarot card, it means that that person cannot be broken by anyone or anything. If you pull the Empress with the Hierophant, it could mean that you have impressed a higher authority. If you pull the Empress with the Three of Swords, it could be telling you that someone is envious of your natural authority. If you pull the Empress with the Sun Tarot card on either side of it, it could mean that the light of the Empress is irritating somebody's demons. And it just keeps going on and on and on, you guys, but you get the gist. So check this book out. It's Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. All you needed to get started learning to read cards for yourself and for others is the original Rider-Waite deck, Ryderwaite, and go ahead and invest and get the deck that's got the descriptions on them, on the cards, because that just makes it so much easier to read the cards. That way you're not flipping through a separate book and trying to memorize stuff. And yeah, if you guys could like the video and subscribe, that would greatly help this platform. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can start taking super chats on this platform for questions. But I also have my other platform, which is called Astraea Love, ASTRAEA LOVE. On that platform, I can take $20 super chats per question. So for those of you that do have questions, yeah, go ahead and check that out. I love you guys. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Hopefully this helped you guys keep in mind that if you've got a question, do it at the beginning of the reading. So tap that notification bell so that you're notified when I am live. I'm like, what is it when I go live? Yeah. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Peace be with you, okay? I'll see you in the next reading. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.